Alright guys, so we are bringing some Necrons out, doing some prep for ATC just with Nephilim dropping. GW decided to just like change everything in the game a few weeks out from a pretty huge tournament here for us. So we have shifted into Necrons because they are ridiculously good now with their secondary changes. So today what I have is a patrol and an outrider with a supreme command carrying the Silent King here, and that still leaves me buying just one relic on this guy here with 5 command points, which is pretty wild in the state of the game today. So I've got a couple things here. So obviously we've got the Silent King, we've got Sezerac so that we can reanimate 2 guys in a turn and buff up some of our units. We've got a unit of 10 flayed ones. We have 3 units of Scorpex, 2 units of 6, and 1 unit of 3. And then we have a big warrior blob of 17 3x3 Ophidian destroyers, which I think are a little bit better now. 2 units of 3 wraiths. And then some scarabs for objective scoring. So should be fun. We'll see how we do.
All right, guys. Thomas Bird here, Tabletop Life. A second battle report in so many days, and it's more Necrons. We got a different Necron list that we're playing. Joe has agreed to come over and give me some practice against a different type of Necron list than Walter was playing. Got some OPSEC, got some Silent King. Is he going to fight me? Is he going to trade with me? I don't know. We're going to see. We don't like to trade. In the spirit of that ATC practice, only a couple weeks left. We're just tweaking our list, making some changes. I made some changes here. I really wanted to change my Inquisitor to Eisenhorn for reasons, but that caused all sorts of weird point problems. So not 100% on this list, but we're going to try it out just to see and see if Eisenhorn makes a difference in this list or not versus Necrons. I don't know. All right, so let's go through it real quick. Gilliman is the Warlord Supreme Command. We're not buying his Warlord trait. But we are spending 6 pregame on Warlord traits and relics, so we'll kind of go through that in the list. HQ is going to be Cassius and Tigerius. Tigerius got Veil of Time Null Zone, which that's always a plus or minus. And then Psychic Fortress. Troops, we're going to have 1 unit of Incursors, 1 unit of 10-man Intercessors, Power Fists, Auto Bolt Rifles, some Grenade Launchers, and then 1 unit of Infiltrators with the Helix. In the elite slots, we got Super Apothecary, we got a Judiciar with Warden of McCrag, Warlord trait, so he can fight last. He's carrying the Seal of Oath Relic. This guy's carrying the Vox, so his Feel No Pain range is extended. We bought Eisenhorn. We had some random points, so we bought his Demon Host. We have a 5-man Assault Squad, which we had some points, so we bought a 6 guy, so now I can do Rod or Rend or whatever, R&D. They're fully loaded with plasma pistols. We have in the heavy slot, heavy eradicators, double multi-meltas. We got Hellblasters, Sergeant's Master Crafted, the Assault Plasma, and then we got 2 units of Victrix. So that's the list. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to see. Took a little bit of fighting out. I have a 3rd Victrix unit to kind of pick up some Eisenhorn and random stuff. So we'll see if that matters. Once we get the table set up, we'll go over the mission and what our plans are for the game. All right, Necrons and their crazy secondaries. It looks really good for him. He's got the whole OPSEC army, so it's going to be tricky for me. So Ultramarines, we're playing Recover the Relics. So that is going to be this mission. Got the objectives kind of stacked in the center, hammer and anvil deployment. The secondary bonus is you don't score command points unless you control an objective in your command phase in their zone, their half of the board. So that's a little tricky to get command points. And if you hold the one all the way in their deployment zone, you get double command points. So, it might not be a lot of command points, and I need command points. My secondaries, I'm going with March from Crag, Ultramarines. We're going to try it. Shock Tactics. He's going to want to trade, so hopefully I can take objectives back. And then no prisoners, because my plan is to kill lots of Necrons. He's understandably taking Purge Vermin, so I just can't let him have his half of the board. We played that game already. Treasures of Aeons, he just goes into the board. I get to pick the 3 though, so I'm going to pick ones that are not necessarily the one that he wants. And Ancient Machinery is similar to Marchman of Crag, but he gets to score it immediately if he's OPSEC. So guess what? His whole army's OPSEC. So he's got to do each objective, but all he has to do is get on it to start the action, is control it. So once my OPSEC's dead, it starts getting real dicey to stop that one. So that's the mission. Here's the terrain setup we did player placed. Can we try to kind of mimic the terrain as possible? I was stuck with this forest at the last piece. Unfortunately, it's not where I want that. I don't want anything minimizing my shooting, but it's where it is. When you have these big pieces of terrain, you start getting stuck between objectives, 6 inches, it starts becoming real tricky to put pieces down. So, well, we'll come back. Yeah,
where you can place stuff.
Exactly. We'll come back after deployment, see who's going first, and then we'll get this party started. All right, we've got our deployment. Good. Eisenhorn hanging out behind this objective. These guys are on the bottom floor, 1 inch off the way from the wall. We've got some guys kind of pushed up on that objective just to tempt him to charge me. He does get to make some pregame moves, so we'll see if he does do it. Most of my army's tucked in here. Right off the line, he's got quite a bit of forces. It's just kind of like he didn't have a lot of room. He's got a lot of stuff. So we'll see what he's going to do. Does he push out? I do have March from a Crag, so I do want to get those objectives early. So I did want to go first, make it a little bit tougher for him. I think him going first is going to make March from a Crag a little tough. So I'll probably regret that. But yeah, that's why we play these practice games, and we can see. No command points for either one of us, because reasons. It's going to be tough. We have to be in the opponent's territory at the top of our command phase to pick up command points. So it's going to get ugly real quick. He starts with 5, though. Ooh, I'm on 3. So we'll come back after his turn is done. He's going to do his pregame moves, so he's kind of contemplating. And, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what that looks like. All right, interesting turn. It was very, very hard to spend CP. He spent 2 CP. I spent 1 CP, begrudgingly. And I thought I would actually come out ahead, and then it's a little bit of a wash. So what he did his pregame move. He YOLO'd up 2 squads. This is a unit of race. He moved them up into this forest. I was 1 inch off this wall, but they can board the building, so he just needed a 9 inch horizontally to get on top of the building to charge me from the bottom down. So he hit that 9 on the first roll, and then these guys only need like a 4 inch charge to hit, 4 or 5 inch charge to hit these infiltrators. I popped transhuman with the helix. He rolled pretty well, and he did exactly enough to kill me. Over here, he rolled pretty poorly. I needed 4 ups because they're only AP2. I hit all but 1, so he killed 1 guy. I needed 5s to wound him with my -1 chain swords and lightning claw, and I dropped the bomb on him, 9 wounds, and he lost 2 race.
12 attacks, 9 wounds, needing 5.
16 because of the lightning claws, but yes, all the attacks, lots of wounds, 2 dead race. So I'm still in combat. He's killed some guys. He's taken that objective. He scored a lot of points. So this is the way Necrons work. Purge Vermin. He gets it on the first turn, 3 points. Treasure of Aeons. He did he got 3 of the 4 objectives that are the ones that we marked, so he got 3. And then he did the action on one of his objectives, so it's 4 points per. And since they're all OPSEC, it completes immediately. Boo. All right, it's going to be my turn. See what we're going to do next. All right, our plan is complete. What you never see behind the camera is how long that turn actually took. But I've contemplated, and here's what I'm going to do. So I got the litanies off from Cassius on the Hellblasters, +1 to hit and wound. I was just able to peek and see those guys there without advancing, so I'm going to hit on 2s and wound on 2s. So it should be 10 dead, whatever those guys are, flayed ones. Over here, Eisenhorn spit out his demon host, and then he's going to try to smite that 1 wraith. I spent a CP, very precious, because we're not generating any, neither one of us, to fall back and re-engage with those assault marines. I was able to get on the objective. So I'm going to try to shoot these wraiths, or whatever they are, Ophidians. But if they die, I'm going to be on the objective. If they don't die, then I can charge them. So need to get on that objective. I don't have any OPSEC over there, so he's going to kind of come and trade, but it's going to play into my hands, right? So I can get shock tactics, hopefully. And then over here, We got the Judiciar. We're kind of setting up the bubble for the inevitable assault. It's just a dare how many guys he's going to send over here. So, and the Apothecary, we didn't see was the Silent King. His menhirs, I was trying to bait him into moving into this piece of terrain to shoot me, but he just let his menhirs pop back because they have longer range, so they were able to see and shoot from back there instead of him stepping up. He killed one Eradicator. Apothecary had something to do. So, all right, quick turn. All that movement was the long turn. The shooting was over quickly. So Psychics, he got his power off. So Blodau, he just did 3 wounds on the smite, killed that guy right out. These guys got eradicated quite easily, even though he had given them the 5-up invulnerable save. So shock tactics achieved. No need to charge. Wasted a CP for that. Over here, these guys got all the hits and wounds on 2+, no saves because they're only armor 4 with AP 4. Then you have to overcharge, killed them. So I killed 3 things. The bonus on this primary is 1 point for each unit destroyed. So I got the max 3. He just killed the 1 unit with the infiltrator, so he only got 1. So it is. I did do March from a Crag as a on this objective here, my home base objective. Basically, that one's outside my zone, so I did March from a Crag on that. So I don't score that to the beginning of my next command phase, as long as those incursors here in the back are still alive. So that's it. We are going to go to his turn 2. He's picking up 8 on the primary. And we'll
all right, guys. So kind of a super passive turn for the Necrons. I feel like the way that they play is you just score points. They scored so many points just without really having to devote a lot of resources. So really my big offensive play here is I've veiled these warriors up with my will be done, so they're going to hit on 2s to try and pick up these guys. And then I've moved my Scorpex around to really control this side. The Silent King has poked his guns out to be able to shoot those Eradicators that are down there, along with Sazerac. And then we have just these guys staging for whenever he comes, inevitably forward onto this objective to score his secondaries and get CPs back. We've got a lot of stuff to be able to punch back. So that is, we'll check back and see how it happens.
He decided not to come out of the booth over here. He just shot. He did his action on that objective. He shot with the menhirs again between Cesaron, what's his name? Sazerac, and then Silent King. They only killed 1 guy again. He took away my cover again. But I hit 1 6-up. A little armor of contempt. Only killed 1.
As you do, Thomas.
Eradicator. That's what I do. I live on 6s. These guys shot a lot. They forced me to take 18 wounds. I passed more than 18 wounds. He shot me with the boss guy. Left the Sarge alive. He rolled a 1 for morale. Doesn't care. I had 1 guy still on objective, but it doesn't really matter. So I think I'm good there. I'll leave the Sarge alive because he's got the weapons, and I want to make sure that morale, leadership matter. But we're going into my turn. See what I can kill. Spicy back here. All right, here we go. There's a lot of dithering here. So I am going to, at the end of the movement phase, I'm going to heal one of these guys so that I can get a shot at these menhirs and Silent King. I do get full rerolls because of that guy, and I'm going to have the hate. I also got these Hellblasters who advance that also can just draw a skinny line onto the Silent King. So Seal of Oath is going to get full work here. We pushed up, so we did take this objective, so we'll get shot tactics. We failed to get +1 to wound, but we did get +1 to hit, so we're going to shoot at the only thing we could see, which are those proxied Ophidian destroyers. He did give them Sezicon or whatever, Cesaran. What's his name? This guy?
Illuminator Cesaras.
That guy. Sazerac. He gave them +1 to toughness, so unfortunately I'll be wounding them on 5s. They're normally toughness 4. And I'm just going to have to weather this. So everything's positioned very carefully to get the full power. And all we got here is 1 unit of Vitreous Guard, Eisenhorn, and a Demon Host to do lots of work on this. He's going to pop March from a Crag and see if he can live. Let's do it, baby. We'll be back. We're going to do a mid-turn preview. We made the charge here with the guys. We killed 3 with the smite, but at castigation I rolled a leadership 10, so I wasn't able to get any extra mortal wounds. The Demon Prince demon host, I should say, didn't make he was far off. He did not. He rolled mortal wounds for his special power, so he can only walk 6. Nobody was near him to do mortal wounds on, but he did get to, run in and make the charge. He hit the 9 for the charge, so we're gonna have some fights here. We're gonna see if we can do some work on him. Does this guy have an orb? This guy have a res orb?
No.
Good. We strung these guys out to hold the objective. It's thin on their boots on the ground here. These guys are just chilling. This guy popped out to shoot, and with City he made his save. But you can notice there's no more men here, as all the plasma and a couple random bolters did their job. But over here, with City, I did kill what guys could see, the scarabs that were in this building. The ruling here is men here can be brought back, even though they don't have reanimation, because it doesn't mention anything about reanimation. So Illuminator is going to bring back a men here. That's no good, but nothing we can really do about that. These guys are going to get a charge off. There's nothing I can do about that. These race potentially could charge as well. This objective is kind of poorly manned. I do have some OPSEC here. We're kind of all in on this bubble, so we'll see what he's going to do. He's definitely going to attack me next turn. This is pretty much the end of my turn. I'm going to do this combat here. See if I can thin down these warriors, keep them out of the combat, and we'll hope that guy lives. All right, I've never seen it. He didn't grow one guy back from all my attacks. I did flub my attacks mostly, but everyone that went through actually went through. So he didn't make any saves. I think he made 1 save and failed all his Ruby back. So he failed morale, and he lost a couple 3 more. So he's only down to 4. He's still in combat. So all the great things went well for me there. We'll score it up, and we'll be back after he decides what he's going to do.
All right, guys. So another kind of cautious turn from the Necrons. I moved up with the Scorpex to go and kill these intercessors off of the objective and be able to score my points. I grew back a Minier, and I'm going to shoot down this line with the Silent King. And then Cesares is going to shoot into the Hellblasters as well. I moved up with these Scorpex to potentially... I'm going to need a 9 to charge into this jump pack guy in the back here, but that would deny Thomas 4 points, which is a big deal. These guys are just going to stand back here and soak up some combat, and then I've moved up with the Ophidians to try and kill these Eradicators. So we'll see what happens. Come back at the end of the turn.
Oh, you guys, the internet. If only I had turned on the camera for that. There was so much cackling, so much dramatic action here. So. Silent King, with all the power that he has, full rerolls, he shoots at poor 5-man Hellblasters. They are in an invulnerable save with Psychic Fortress, so I pop Transhuman. And after all the shooting is done, he does 1 wound. Cesares says, I'm going to shoot my last kid. I've only shot it 1 shot out of my D3 every turn. Haha, I got 2 shots. No wounds. The Hellblasters live. Didn't even lose a guy. Then he's going to go important charge 9 inches. He fails it, re-rolls it, fails it. The guy survives shooting from the 1 character that's not in combat. March for a Crag is mine. Yes, 4 points. Over here, these guys going to charge. This guy decides to buff him up, rolls a 1, kills 1. I overwatch, roll 2 6s. I get close damage, no invul. All I got to do is not roll a 2 to wound. I roll 1 2, so only kill 1. But 1's in the fight. And then over here, this guy decides he wants to buff him up too. He rolls another 1. Another 1 dies. They're dying all over. This is great. We're about to do some fighting. I don't think this is going to go the way he thinks it is. But I did spend all my CP. I was counting on special things with that CP. I won't be able to do it. So we'll see if we can live. All right, Internet. You didn't see it. I didn't have any CP, so Gene Rot Might was really relevant. But I was able to punch him because I got to do the Judiciary, make a fight last. He had all the rerolls, but I punched 1 guy before he died, and then I just rolled like a champ, hitting some 6-ups here and there, hitting some 5-ups. I only lost 6 guys after all their swings were done with the full hits and full wounds rerolls. Spicy meatball. I punched back, didn't do anything. So yeah, I killed the 1 guy that before he swung, and then over here, Eisenhorn heroic in. But the Victory Guard said there's only 4 warriors here. We kill you before you get to reanimate. They're all dead. And look here, I still hold the objectives. I hold 3 again. We're back to... He ran over here and did his action. So let's look at the scoring here. He picked up another... Wait, what? Eons?
2 for Purge.
2, because I'm in his table quarter. Trends...
Actually, it's 3. Because this quarter is clear, and then you're not in my deployment zone. So now
That's only 2 then, right? It's 1 and 1. It's 1 for every one. Nice. Okay, here we are. I'm lamenting on how long this in-between camera takes are taking, so I'm apologizing to my opponent. But we are back. Exciting times. So here's what we've done. These guys spent the last CP I just got to fall back and re-engage because I need them to do some positioning after the shooting round is done. So I need to get that by doing charging. So I'm going to charge in with all my stuff here. So I need to really kind of position this just in case the Silent King doesn't die. I'm going all in on Silent King for 2 reasons. 1, I don't want him to grow another men here back. But 2, he's on that objective, so that'll cost him. I do have some issues here. I have to really decide. I haven't quite finished deciding who's going to kill those jerkalurks. Do I care? I do kind of care because I don't want them running free. Can they fall back and charge, Scarabs?
Scarabs cannot.
Okay, so if I just don't die to Scarabs, then they're just stuck there. So I'm okay with that. We're gonna try and nuke that guy. We got some psychic powers. We're gonna take care of this guy with some chaff weapons, and we got the Eradicator's gonna shoot once, and then he's gonna pop off, disappear. So then it's gonna be up to these guys. So I'm debating whether I just split fire because otherwise there's no real reason. They're never gonna get shoot twice. So once this thing dies, he's gonna be out of range and out of line of sight. So I think I'll do that. So here we should mop all those guys up. Could go south. This guy's popped back to give them full rerolls because of the Seal of Oath, and he's left a little gap so he could charge back in. So we can't afford to shoot them and make that charge farther than it has to be. So that's it. So we'll come back after it's done. I think I'm going to move this 1 lone assault marine up to try to take those guys out just in case. We'll be back. All right. I'm abusing my fight last abilities. It's very nuanced if you are understanding how it works. But Gilliman cleaned the clock. We got the kill there. He elected not to buff them up, so he's just counting on these guys to counterattack. I did kill the men here with the Eradicators, but he was able to just save and die on the very last wound, so I couldn't shoot twice because I couldn't see. The Hellblasters were forced to choose. They didn't want to risk not getting the kill on these Scarabs because that's a shock tactics point, so that guy would come in there and fight if he had to, but that would be probably not enough. I don't want to risk it, so I split fire here with 3 guys. Pretty dicey math, actually, to shoot through the force, hitting on 4s, overcharging, but I got just enough to kill him. So I just left 2 guys to shoot there. He took 3 wounds. So hurt. He's about to get some more men here for support, and now it's going to come back to what he can do in the fighting. Over here, the Lord got smited a couple times, and then he got punched. So Vitrix killed them. So that gave me 3 points for killing on the extra bonus points. I got my shock tactics. That guy survived to get March from a Crag, and then yeah, this is turn bottom of 4, so this should be 4.
All right, so we've moved up with our Wraiths and our Ophidian Destroyers. We grew back the men here and moved into a position to be able to shoot, but also they gave the Silent King a better charge angle into both the Justicar and Gilliman. These Scorpex moved up over here to just absolutely murder this assault marine and take that objective, and then we're still scoring here. So the goal is just to murder as much of this as possible, but maximize the points that we can score. So see you back after this fight phase.
All right, the dust is settled. I thought for a second I was going to save some intercessors, but I did not hit any of my 5-ups. He did pick them up, but the Hellblasters rolled hot. 3 race, only killed 2 guys. They took a mortal back from Cassius's special rule. And then Silent King, he was able to get that men here after he grew him back close, and he shot the Judiciar, killed him, and then he fought with the... I didn't have my fight last anymore, so he fought with the Silent King into Gilliman. I only failed 2 saves, took 4 damage, and then I fought back, killed the men here again. How many times did I kill the men here? Did some more wounds to the Silent King. So he's still sitting on 13. He wants to be rezzed, so he's in range to get rezzed. It's my turn to kill. All right, so he was thinking about, does he consolidate in? Since I don't control this objective in this mission, I have to control an objective in his territory. I won't get the bonus CP, so I don't have any CP right now. So Gilliman can stay in combat and try to fight him, or I can shoot him with Eradicators and Hellblasters. That's probably the better way. I need that CP. We'll come back. So here's the scoring. He did pick up 3 kills. Killed the Judiciar shooting him, and then punched a couple units out. He got 2 on Purge, 3 on Treasures. He's still waiting for machines, so no machines this turn. He's only got 1 objective, 2 objectives left we can do that on. And then it's up to me. What can I possibly do? I'm going to get 8 points on the primary. I get March for my Crag, because you know who did it? The ones he didn't charge, those Victrix card. Oh, got it. March for my Crag. Who didn't think it was going to get done? All right, we'll be back. All right, I've come up with a mastermind plan. I did take Null Zone. I think I'm going to do it. So here's where it matters. He's going to try to cast Null Zone. That would turn off the Silent King's invulnerable save. I did have to move these guys, but Gilman backed out of combat. He doesn't have a CP, so he will not be able to fight. He will be able to shoot. But if I get Null Zone off and he doesn't 4+ it, then Eradicators have free reign to just nuke him with the full Gilman rerolls. Over here, we're going to grow back a Hellblaster and help out shooting at the Silent King, and or charge these guys and get rid of them. That guy will live to fight another day. And then we got this crew. Apparently 17 warriors wasn't enough. They see some scared guys over there, Scorpex. They're like, fresh meat has arrived. So we'll see if they can make a dent and just kind of delay them a little bit. So let's do some actually, let's roll this shit on power. This is on camera power. Right here. Null Zone. Let's do this. Actually, we know we're growing that guy back, so we already said that's happening. I'll put him in a minute. Null Zone. I need a 7. Goes off on a 9. Does he deny? Oh, he denied it. Oh.
Yeah.
Is there any other powers that matter? Veil of Time, or Smite, or Psychic Fortress. Let's cast Invulnerable save because it matters. It goes off. No stopping it, right?
I think I can only do one.
Ooh, you got to fight last with that guy. We got to make sure he goes away. All right. The dust has settled. What a violent phase that was. Despite blocking Null Zone, Eradicators did their business. He couldn't pass enough saves at half damage, or at half range, plus 4 damage. Every one that went through was big, big wounds. Over here, the guy went down. I was able to consolidate in his zone to make Purge Vermin tough, and whatever the other ones are. Over here, I failed to get my charge off. I smited. I failed to get my castigation off. Vitrix had to go it alone. They only killed 1 guy, so he got to swing back with 4. And like a boss, and thanks to his poor rolling, I was able to stay alive and hold him in combat and keep him from running over here. And he's still touching the objective, so at least he has that. But it really doesn't matter. This is top of turn 5. He's only on 2 objectives, still only getting 8. And that's going to be big points for me going into the last turn. All right, the math is done. I was able to make a clutch long roll on the last turn to pick up the 12. I was able to only kill down to 1 wound. 1 guy stayed alive, so I couldn't get shock tactics on the last turn because he wasn't on this objective to start the turn. No shock tactics. I did not get it on the last turn. I needed that guy to die. Couldn't risk the CP. But I did pick up 15 for no prisoners. I killed almost everything. Missed shock tactics, but I got 12. That's good. And oh, March for Crag. I was only hoping for 8, and I got 12. Max primary. This mission, getting bonus points for killing, really helped me because I killed a lot of stuff. It is also kind of just easy to get 2. It's very hard to stop them from getting 8 on primary every turn. So Joe was able to do that. But he didn't really kill too much. 0 kills in the last turn. So he only picks up 37 on the primary. And then looking down in the secondaries, last turn I was able to get in his zone, stop Purge. Eons, he only got 2, and he never got over to my 3rd objective. So I held him to 12, 12, 11. So still pretty high secondaries. 35 and 37, he's going to pick up 82. But the Ultramarines max out the primary. Look at that big secondary score. Oh, 39. So 94 to 82, the Ultramarines somehow win it. What a great game. Joe, thanks for coming out and playing some games. It was a fun game. You didn't get to see all the crazy dice rolls that were happening. Joe's dismay. I was making a lot of saves, And then we had the big scrum here. Gilman came out on top. So I love it. Son of the King's down. Ah. Well, that's it for Tabletop Life. I'm signing off. We will see you probably building some more games here in the next couple days. We'll probably put some more videos out here soon. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.